Om Shanti. Good day. Warm welcome to this Power Boost lunchtime meditation. And our topic today, my name is Judi, and our topic today is the garden within. And I have been thinking about this a lot because I take these walks through the neighborhood, and I'm in a neighborhood where there's still large plots of property the houses are on, and they have these beautiful gardens that are now blooming. And I think I always am in wonder, that these big elaborate gardens all began from these little seeds. And all they need to do is focus on these little seeds, and these incredible results emerge. And the reason I found that so powerful now is I know we're all sort of navigating through very uncertain, sometimes complicated times where we have to make decisions or problem solve, and it might seem overwhelming at moments. And I find it so useful to be able to connect back to the seed. That helps a lot in simplifying what could be quite complicated and actually creating something beautiful at what might seem a little uncertain. So we're going to walk through our own inner garden, plant a few seeds, create a space that you can always come into when times seem a little bit overwhelming or complicated. Let's give it a go. Sitting comfortably, and if you want to, experimenting with eyes open. The reason being, it will be very useful to use as you walk or move around. That's when the complications usually arrive. So up to you if you'd like to give that a try. And take a moment as well to allow the body to settle into the space, to really feel relaxed while still engaged. And it might be helpful just to take a breath or two. A breath in, and the magical part, the exhale, the release of air from the lungs. Every time that exhale happens, it feels like the body can start to release even hidden tension. So a couple of breaths. And now that the body feels a little more relaxed, I can move my focus from the breath upwards to that space behind the forehead, a very powerful space, my own inner world. It's a space that doesn't have dimensions, but it really is full of wonder. It's a space of thoughts and feelings, attitudes, memories, perspectives, and perceptions. I bring my attention into that space. It almost feels like a space beyond time, or where time can change so easily. And as I arrive, it might seem a little cluttered in there. Often we bring a lot of the outer world into our inner world. Different roles, responsibilities, relationships, and sometimes unresolved issues. So using the power of my own mind, I start to move through my inner world. It's quite a bit of noise at first, but I keep going. All those usual worldly thoughts happening around me, I keep moving more and more inwards. It almost feels like moving through a forest of thoughts. But I keep moving, and the thoughts fade into the distance as I don't engage. Until I feel I arrive at a clearing, an open space in the very center of my inner world. It's a beautiful space. The sunlight reaches it easily. It's warm. It's quiet. There's no forest of thoughts in this clearing. That's in the distance. This is a quiet space, a space where I feel my mind is not distracted. I can give myself my full attention. It's calm, simple, and uncluttered in this space. And I notice that in my hand, the hand of my mind, there are 3 seeds, 3 small points, seeds. And I look at them with wonder. I can feel that they're quite precious and unique. These are not ordinary seeds. I take the first one, and this feeling inside to identify what type of seed is this. It's not a non-living seed. I feel there's more power. This seed in my hand represents one of my most important core values, a value, a virtue, a strength that I feel is essential to quality of life. It might be peace, it might be love, it might be acceptance, a value I personally feel is essential to quality of life. I hold that seed silently in my mind, allowing that quality to fill the space of my mind, just a single word. I take that quality in the form of a word, a thought, and I plant it in this open clearing in the center of my inner world. Plant it in the ground. Plant that seed deeply into the very center of my inner world. And I start to notice it changes from just a word, a thought, to a feeling. If it's peace, the feeling of peace, that cool, calm, light feeling starts to fill the space of my inner world. From a word or thought to a feeling. And from a feeling to a fragrance or vibration. My entire being becomes that quality. And I look at the second seed in the hand of my mind. And again, in a moment of silence, just with myself, I identify a second quality that I feel is essential to quality of life, a virtue, a value, a strength, absolutely precious. I would love to fill all aspects of my life, how I act and interact. Quietly, just with myself, I identify that second quality, that second seed. Again, I hold that seed in my mind, that word or thought, and using the hand of my mind, I plant it in this open clearing in the center of my inner world, planting it deep within the self. Until again, it takes root inside. That is, I start to feel it. From a word or thought, it becomes a feeling. That quality becomes alive in my inner world. I take a moment to feel that quality. And from taking root, it begins to grow. There is a fragrance or vibration. I feel I become that quality. And finally, attention on that third seed, beginning to feel like I am a master of my own inner garden. I know what to do. I identify that third quality that is so precious for me to quality of life. Quietly bringing that thought and holding it in the hand of my mind like a seed. I'm ready to plant that seed, that thought, in the very center of my inner world, deep inside. And again, it begins to take root. I begin to experience it, feel that quality. Really fills the space, not just of my inner world, but of my heart. I love to feel that quality. And it also grows. The fragrance, the vibration, I become that quality. I have a garden. I have created this beautiful garden in my inner world, something that has been created from my core values that really touch my heart. This space will ground me. Whenever I feel overwhelmed or confused, I take a walk through the feeling of these core qualities. They're like an organizing principle, helping me at times when I have to make decisions or solve problems. I just connect back to what's most important to me. Deeply experience it, feel it in my heart, and it will bring me closer to understanding what I need to do, as well as when. And anytime I need a sanctuary, a space to go and recharge, this inner garden is perfect. It both clears my mind of the clutter and creates simplicity within. And knowing as well, the sun is always shining on this inner garden. The warmth of something divine, always nurturing what is best within the self. I'll return to this garden within often. It grounds me, refreshes me, and reminds me of what's most important to me, and in a sense, who I really am. Om Shanti. Thank you so much for joining us today and taking this walk for yourself through this garden within. The more that we do this for ourselves, it of course helps the self, is a way to really care for the self, but we also start to show up in the world in a different way when we care for the self. And so others will get a little bit of the fragrance of your inner garden as well, simply through the way you act and interact. So enjoy your inner garden often. Om Shanti.